post the colors.
On behalf of our chaplain, Mrs. Dorothy Meyer, Lisa Murder will provide the invocation.
I invite you to pray in your tradition as I pray in mine. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we seek always to serve your will and grow in knowledge and understanding, that we may be wiser and better able to help our fellow man. Grant us energy and enthusiasm for challenges which lie ahead. Guide our thoughts and direct our actions as we move forward. Give to each of us focus and courage that we may be strong and decisive. With faith and trust in our Lord, we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Lisa. Sharon Pinder will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and Megan Corniquione will sing the first stanza of our national anthem. Ms. Pinder and Ms. Corniquione.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I think our soloist is still warming up. I don't know what's... Hello, hello. It's only working half of the time. Sally, would you ask one of the staff about the microphone? Be seated just for a moment until we find our soloist. I'm sorry. Oh. Thank you, Sharon. Color Guard Commander, post the colors.
Post the national colors. Post remaining colors.
Color Guard dismissed.
Color guard, right face. Color guard, march.
You may be seated. Good morning and welcome. My name is Carol Johnson, and I serve as the Regent of the Governor William Paca Chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution. I want to acknowledge the Maryland Sons of the American Revolution, Color Guard, and thank them for their presentation of the colors. The DAR is a women's service organization committed to promoting education, patriotism, and historic preservation. For over 100 years, our chapter has engaged in fulfilling these ideals right here in Harford County. Our recent accomplishments include honoring those who served our country by placing wreaths on the graves of veterans with wreaths across America, preparing care packages for deployed military, supporting Perry Point VA Medical Center through the year with cards and personal care products, and donating baby blankets to military families overseas. We advocate for the environment by maintaining a pollinator garden at the historic Hayes House, which is a site on the newly formed Harford County Pollinator Trail, participating in bird counts, as well as stream cleanups in Cecil County. We established a little free library at Bakerfield Elementary, our adopted school in Aberdeen. We also hosted a teacher appreciation brunch and participated in their family fun night and career days. We created a quilt for an incoming student at the Chemawa Indian School. We participated in the Harford 250 celebrations, Constitution Day activities at Harford Community College, and refreshed the Grand Army of the Republic area in Angel Hill Cemetery. We look forward to seeing you in the upcoming 4th of July parade, the 250th anniversary celebration of the signing of the Bush Declaration, and the commemoration of the bicentennial farewell tour of Lafayette. We are proud to invite you to attend the unveiling of our new America 250 Patriots marker at noon, Saturday, April 27th at the Bel Air Armory during the Bel Air 150th year celebration. The marker celebrates the people of Harford County who aided in the founding of our new country. 101 years ago today, our chapter gathered at that same armory to dedicate the World War I memorial that you see on the boulder in front of the building. And finally, in honor of our state regent, Ms. Myrnie Crane, we are donating copies of the book, Her Name Was Mary Catherine, the Only Woman Whose Name is on the Declaration of Independence, by Ella Schwartz, to all Harford County elementary schools, so that children might understand the difficulties of our new nation and a woman who defied that society. Each year, we present several awards to students, educators, and community leaders. Today's group of awardees is just amazing. Thank you for joining us to celebrate their accomplishments. We're going to start with a few introductions. I would like to introduce the officers of the Governor William Paca Chapter DAR, if you would please stand. We are fortunate to welcome visiting officials from the Maryland State Society, Daughters of the American Revolution. State Vice Regent Elizabeth Deering. State Chair, American History Committee, Julia Wynn. Madam Vice Regent, would you please bring greetings to our gathering today?
Good morning, everyone. As State Vice Regent, I'm pleased to be here today to represent the Maryland State Society Daughters of the American Revolution. Many of you know the DAR as a lineage society, but daughters are also women who partner with their communities to preserve history, educate youth, and honor those who have served our country. More than 1 million women have joined the DAR since it was founded in 1890 and incorporated in 1896 by an act of Congress. We are one of the largest women's service organizations in the world, with over 3,000 chapters in all 50 states, Washington, D.C., and overseas. It's a great pleasure to celebrate all of you today, the Governor William Paca Award winners. You're here today because you have demonstrated excellence as a student or a teacher, or as a volunteer in education, a volunteer in education, historical preservation, patriotism, conservation, literacy, the arts, American history, and citizenship, to name a few. The Daughters of the American Revolution take great pride in recognizing your accomplishments, contributions, and hard work. Congratulations.
Thank you, Liz. I would also like to welcome visiting officials from the Maryland Society of the Sons of the American Revolution, President Christopher T. Smithson. Over here. Okay. I would like to acknowledge the local officials with us today. If I can ask you to stand and remain standing, and please hold your applause until the end. Mr. Jake Taylor, representing Maryland State Senator Jason Gallion. Mr. Bob Castley, County Executive of Harford County. Harford County Councilman Aaron Penman. Thank you for your support today. Congressman Harris, the Harford County delegation to the State Senate and House of Delegates, as well as the County Council, have all sent citations of congratulations to the honorees today. These citations will be found in the red bags at your tables. Now, let's get started. I'm going to ask our State Regent, Vice Regent Liz Deering, to please join me in presenting our awards. The first award we have today is the Hannah White Arnett Medal, and it is one of DAR's newest recognitions. It's awarded to a member in good standing of the Sons of the American Revolution, or the Sons of the Revolution, for unselfish devotion, tireless efforts, and assistance to the DAR, and who has dedicated his time, energy, talents, and/or resources to the organization in support and furtherance of the DAR mission of preservation, education, and patriotism. This year's Hannah White Arnett Medal recipient encapsulates all of these things. Mr. William Smithson of Jarrettsville, Maryland. Bill, will you join us? As he comes forward, I invite Bill's family, friends, and colleagues to stand and be recognized. Over at the ends. When I became the chapter regent, a kind person donated a storage unit of patriotic inventory to us. I knew we could only take it if we had a place to store it. Bill showed up with his truck and helped move it all into his brand new shed. He then helped us sell some of it as a fundraiser and deliver some to other nonprofits who could use it. Another day, I found a good deal on a filing cabinet. I called Sandy, Bill's wife and our chapter vice regent. She was in the car at the time, and I heard her say, "Bill, turn around." They turned around. I bought the file cabinet, and Bill delivered it to his storage shed. Whenever we have a chapter project, large or small, we can count on Bill to join in, cleaning headstones, building parade floats, or caring for our flags. He sewed period attire for our float participants, including for CAR members and children of our members. I would like to publicly thank him for this. Sandy told me that Bill's son, Chris, came downstairs one day in 2001 and said, "Here, sign this and give me a check." With that, he became a member of the Colonel Aquila Hall Sons of the American Revolution. He immediately became an active member of the Color Guard and later participated in the National Color Guard. He has been president of Aquila Hall chapter twice and Maryland State SAR president in 2016 to 17. No one could be more deserving of this award. The Governor William Paca chapter is honored to recognize Mr. William Smithson as its inaugural Hannah White Arnett Medal recipient. American History Chair Carol Ann Powers will present the Women in American History Award.
The Women in American History Award emphasizes the role of women, past and present, in American history. Women chosen for this recognition are women who made a contribution or a difference in their communities. They are or have been intellectual, educational, social, religious, political, scientific, or cultural innovators. This year's Women in American History Award recipient is Mrs. Joan Hodes. Joan, will you please join us here? As she comes forward, I invite Joan's family, friends, and colleagues to stand and be recognized. Joan Henderson Hodes was born and raised in Jarrettsville, Maryland. She earned her degree in fine arts and art education from the University of Delaware and is a graduate of the New York School of Interior Design and the Haystack Mountain School of Crafts in Maine. While her husband, Dr. Frederick Buzz Hodes, was in dental school, she taught in the Baltimore schools. She is the mother of 3 children, an artist, an educator, a poet, an author, an advocate for women's rights, a journalist, a business owner, and a supporter of the Maryland Center for the Arts. That's just what I read about her. I was overwhelmed. How can I describe this remarkable woman? Then I had the great privilege of visiting her in her home, the home that she shared with her beloved husband and precious children. The home with the water view that provides her both peace and inspiration. Her home is filled with pieces acquired on her trips all over the world with her husband. No, not trips, adventures. The tiles in her kitchen were painted by Mrs. Hodes, but not by her alone. She is also proud of the tiles painted by her husband and children in their own particular style. She is a very proud mother and lights up when speaking about her children and her grandchildren. One of her daughters is joining us here today. She is an advocate for women here in Harford County and around the world. In 1976, County Executive Charles Anderson appointed her to be the first chair of the Commission on Women. She addressed such issues as health, child care for working women, grandparents' rights, and displaced homemakers. She also wrote a bi-weekly column in the Aegis entitled In Support of Women. Her concern for women's issues continues, and she is inspired by the faces of women painted by herself, as well as others, on the wall in her thinking room. Her art certainly tells her story. There are paintings filled with the vibrant and joyful colors of Key West, where she and her husband spent part of their time and where she showed her work in a museum. She published a book called It All Counts of her Key West paintings, each accompanied by an original poem. There are other paintings influenced by her travels around the world, but there's something very special about the paintings that she has done and continues to paint of Harford County, especially her barns. In 2019, she had a one-woman show at the Armory to benefit the Center for the Arts, displaying some 40 paintings of Harford County barns that she's painted over the course of 50 years. I will tell you that we had a meeting in Darlington last week. Rather than taking Route 1, I traveled Route 161 through the town of Darlington. I'm embarrassed to say I almost drove off the road several times looking at the barns and trying to recognize them from your paintings. Mrs. Joan Hodes is an artist. Her art is much more than canvas. She brings beauty and energy to everything that she does. It is my great privilege to present her with the 2024 Governor William Paca Chapter DAR Women in American History Award.
Thank you. Thank you for this award. I am not a person who says thank you and sits down. I've been very vocal. I wanted to say I admire your DAR mission of equality. I admire your mission of diversity. I am so pleased that your mission of memory, I think you wrote that you recognize the memory of and the spirit of your ancestors, of our ancestors who started our independence in America. And this word spirit, so many words have been hurled at us this week. I just think of spirit. I have to say, we have to, as American women, rise up and stand up and protect our rights. We, as Americans, have to realize our rights are vulnerable, and I can't be on a stage without saying that. The other thing, as an individual, I am trying to get my spirit up to get to that easel, to show up at the easel and do the last painting. 70 years of art will be on display at Liriodendron in September the 8th. It would be my honor if you would come and support me there. I know you have a lot of awards, but I have to say one more thing. I stood at this mic here 50 years ago. Imagine a whole group of men, Rotarians, and I spoke about Israel before the Six-Day War and their energy and spirit to fight for their homeland. 2 years later, I stood at the same mic and I talked about Czechoslovakia, between the crossroads between Germany and Russia, and how their spirits were submerged. They were not allowed. The first thing autocrats would do is submerge spirits, and they knew how to lay low. And then I spoke here about the Commission for Women, as I was newly appointed to be the head. I had great spirit too. But guess what the president said at the end? Well, Fred, that would be my husband, what do you think of your wife doing this women's lib stuff? And Fred said, it'll keep her out of trouble. On that note, I'll tell you, we had a hard road. And the millennials are splendid women who are out there in this world today, leading corporations, leading everything, not only the education and nursing fields, but all kinds of fields. We feel like we mentored those women to come and stand up. And I'm hoping you all will get your spirits out there, and whatever you can do, keep American democracy alive and well. Thank you very much. Very proud. Thanks.
Elizabeth Smith will now present Women in Arts Recognition Award and the DAR Conservation Medal.
The Women in the Arts Award recognizes women at the community level for outstanding achievements in the non-performance arts. The recipient is expected to have made outstanding contributions beyond mastery of technique. As chairman of the Governor William Paca Chapter American Heritage Committee, I am proud to present this year's Women in the Arts Recognition Award to Eleanor Tryon Elgin. Will you please join me at the front? As she comes forward, we invite her family and friends to stand and be recognized. I met Ellie Tryon Elgin at a weekly gathering of the Wednesday Artists Group. Ellie paints outdoors, saying plein air painting brings me closer to nature. It reminds me of how fragile and precarious nature can be. Ellie was born, raised, and educated in Baltimore, Maryland. As a young girl, she loved visiting the stables with her sketchbook to draw the horses and hounds. Now, as a resident of Harford County, home to many horse farms, rivers, and waterways, she's expanded her art to include plein air landscape painting. She's received commendations and certificates of appreciation and recognition from animal rescue organizations, the City of Baltimore, the State of Maryland, for her artistic contributions. She's a member of the Maryland Portrait Society, the Portrait Society of America, Harford Artists Association, and the Mid-Atlantic Plein Air Painters Association. Ellie's been experimenting with water-mixed oil paints. She enjoyed a workshop with Bathe, thank you, who's a master of the water-mixable oil paints. Ellie reports, "So far I'm pleased, but I need to do more of them to hone my skills using water-soluble oils." In an artist's pursuit of mastery, whether in painting, weaving, or photography, the dedication to learning and practice is the path to mastery. Ellie. The NSDAR Conservation Medal is awarded to an individual or business with a distinguished conservation record who's shown sustained efforts to improve the environment or to educate the public on conservation issues. On behalf of the Governor William Paca Chapter, I'm proud to present this year's Conservation Medal to Suzanne Purcell, the president of the Harford Bird Club. Suzanne, would you please join me? As she comes forward, we invite her family and friends to stand and to be recognized. Harford Bird Club is a nonprofit organization and a chapter of the Maryland Ornithological Society dedicated to improving the interaction among people interested in wild birds to encourage the enjoyment, the study, and conservation of these birds and the natural world. The exchange of information among birders is an important goal. The HBC provides a newsletter 4 times a year named Renderings. The paper contains notable bird sightings, a list of upcoming field trips, tons of fun pieces. HBC believes in the future of our planet and the values and the positive impact the outdoors has on young people. The Young Birders Division was established to make the world of birds accessible to school-age children. Programs include bird clubs at the local schools, scholarships to summer bird camps, support for educators by providing resources and opportunities to implement projects at the schools. HBC will provide speakers on birding topics, the loan of binoculars for nature walks, leaders for bird walks at school or parks, and assistance with the citizen science projects, and mentors for Girl Scout, Boy Scout, and capstone projects. Suzanne?
Yes, thank you.
Next, Carolyn Rath, our Literacy Promotion Chair, will present the Literacy Champion Award.
The Literacy Champion Award recognizes individuals who make outstanding contributions by organizing or participating in community activities that promote literacy. The Governor William Paca is pleased to present this award to Mr. Al Fagan. I'm sorry to say that Al was not able to come, and neither was his family, but I do want to recognize him. He is a volunteer at LASAS, which stands for Linking All So Others Succeed. It is a nonprofit organization that offers adult literacy services that include English for speakers of other languages and citizenship classes, a family literacy program that incorporates a Ready by School initiative, at-risk youth development program that supports academic, social, and emotional success, and connects members to Harford County's network of service providers. Mr. Fagan is a freshman at Goucher College with a major in visual and material culture. He hopes to be a curator for a natural history museum. Besides volunteering, he loves painting with acrylics, playing his violin, and reading. His high school Spanish teacher suggested that he volunteer at LASAS to improve his Spanish. So for the last 2.5 years, he has mentored students in English, science, and math. Many of his students only speak Spanish, but there are students that are proficient in English, but still need tutoring in other subjects. We appreciate Al's dedication to promoting literacy. Thank you.
Next, Sandy Wallace will present the Good Citizenship Awards.
Thank you, Carol. Hello, everyone. It is my privilege to introduce to you our 5 Good Citizens for 2024. Each young person was selected by his or her school as that school's Good Citizen for the school year 2023-2024. All 5 chose to participate in the Good Citizen Scholarship Contest, and each wrote an essay in response to the national question for 2024. 4 are with us today. Would our 4 good citizens come forward at this time? Tatiana Wilkins, Radhati Arthi, and I'm not going to attempt to pronounce your last name because I'll butcher it, and that would be, so Arthi, come forward. Caden Schaff and Lindsay Detloff. And Arthi, I want to apologize in front of everyone for not pronouncing your name, but I didn't want to butcher it. So, thank you. As these awardees come forward, they're now forward. Would family and friends please stand and be recognized? Thank you. We know that family support means an awful lot to these young people. These students are so exemplary that it is impossible to list all of their achievements here. I have selected just 1 or 2 to highlight for each awardee. Tatiana Wilkins is the DA Good Citizen from John Carroll High School. Tatiana has been president of the Black Student Union and the vice president of the Women's Empowerment Club. She has been selected to 6 National Honor Societies. She has been very active in her school and community. Her goal is to become a dermatologist, and I thought this was interesting, working with humans or animals. So, Tatiana. Arthi is the good citizen from Aberdeen High School in the Science and Mathematics Academy. Arthi is highly interested in mechanical and mechatronic engineering. Since 2021, he has been a leading volunteer with Tech Brick Education, a 501c3 nonprofit at Aberdeen Proving Ground that provides STEM and robotics programs to students from elementary to high school, including mentoring STEM camps and providing informational lessons to students. He is also a piano instructor. Arthi is planning to continue his education by attending the United States Military Academy at West Point. Caden Schaff is our third place scholarship awardee and will receive a scholarship of $250. Caden is a senior at Patterson Mill High School. In addition to being a stellar student with an outstanding academic record, Caden has volunteered with Volunteen since 2018 and has also volunteered at Harford Family House. He plans to pursue cybersecurity and business management at University of Maryland. Our second place scholarship recipient is Medina Sabrova, who is a senior at Harford Technical High School. Medina could not be with us today. Medina also has an amazing record of academic and school and community activities. She currently serves as the student member on the Harford County Board of Education. She has been a strong voice for inclusivity and the inclusion of minority and marginalized students. Medina will receive a $500 scholarship. Lindsay Detloff is the recipient of this year's Governor William Paca Scholarship Award of $1,000. She is a senior at Falston High School, where she serves as president of the Student Government Association. Lindsay has many interests and talents as well. She is co-editor-in-chief of Falston High School's online newspaper, The Print, captain of the 2022 Maryland Women's Basketball State Championship team in varsity basketball, as well as being a championship golfer. She is a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. She served as a research intern in the Department of Biometric Engineering at Duke University. Lindsay's activities outside of school are impressive as well. She has a strong commitment to using her skills and talents to work with young people in local elementary schools and in coaching basketball and softball. Lindsay plans to attend Boston College in the fall and pursue a degree in finance with the goal of becoming an attorney and, as she told me, and ultimately a judge. This is a very impressive group of young citizens. I think we can all look forward to the contributions of each of these young people will make to our community and to our country. All of these applications were evaluated by 3 judges who were not DAR members. The winner was the person with the highest combined points. All 5 received this Good Citizen medal and certificate. The scholarships will be sent to each senior's chosen school. Regent Carol Johnson and State Vice Regent Liz Deering will present the awards. Carol and Liz. I invite Lindsay Detloff to read her essay. These essays were written within a 2-hour time limit. They were not allowed to see the question before beginning the essay. Each responded to the national essay question, which was, what are the civic responsibilities of a good citizen, and why are these duties, activities, and behaviors important to the shaping of the America you hope to experience? Lindsay?
Thank you. Being a good citizen is a duty and responsibility that takes bravery and hard work to achieve. Many believe being a good citizen is an act that is simply earned by being a loyal citizen to the United States. However, being a good citizen takes far more effort and initiative. To be a good citizen, one must dedicate their actions to the bettering of our country through service to the community and active participation in our government in order to shape America into the place we want it to be. One of the most important components of being a good citizen is through our actions and our service to others. People often get lost within their own selfish desires when it comes to service. They don't want to volunteer because there are more important things in their schedule, or they simply don't feel like it. However, service is one of the most important things that a human can participate in. With one person's sacrifice of time, a homeless person can receive a hot meal. A school organization can make a fun experience for children. A veteran can be honored. The possible positive results of service are endless. The idea of serving a community is that you are giving up your time to help others who need it more than you. It also serves a larger body of people than just yourself. The idea of America was built through the great struggle of a few men in order to liberate a larger body of people. Our founding fathers dedicated their time, minds, and sanity in order to free us from the tyranny of Great Britain's monarchy, and while serving a hot meal at a homeless shelter isn't quite the same, it exhibits the same mindset and message that America's fathers wanted for our country. They wanted us to help and serve each other because it helps to improve America, which makes it one of the most important aspects of being a good citizen. Another essential aspect of being a good citizen is being an active participant in our government. The ability to elect our own leaders in the country is a privilege, and it is one that we need to take advantage of. Our job is to elect someone that will help America be better than it was the day before, and this will help shape America into a country that we can be proud of and that other countries wish to be like. Voting isn't the only way we can be active in our government, though. A great citizen will go above and beyond by informing others about the current state of our government and will spark productive conversations that inspire others to be more active in the government, therefore spreading good citizenship to others. A great citizen would achieve this in a way that wouldn't force a personal agenda, but in a way that would inform another citizen to make the decision that they believe the best for our country. While there are countless other ways to show citizenship, these two examples are the most impactful ways that we as citizens can continue to shape America into the country we want it to be and are immensely proud of. Thank you.
Please give this group another round of applause. They are an amazing group of young people. I congratulate all of you on becoming DAR Good Citizens. Today, you join a long line of DAR Good Citizens dating back to the inception of the award in 1934. Please all remember that this award recognizes you for those critical qualities of a good citizen. May they continue to be reflected in your future. Congratulations.
Next, Carol Ann Powers will present the American History Awards.
All right. This is the Outstanding Teacher of American History. Unfortunately, she was not able to join us, but I would like to tell you a little bit about the award and about her. The purpose of the National DAR Contest for the Outstanding Teacher of American History is to recognize a notable full-time teacher in the fields of history, social studies, or government. That teacher must have an incisive knowledge of his or her subject that is readily shared with students. In the classroom, he or she must foster a spirit of patriotism and support for our country and its constitutional government, demonstrate the ability to relate history to modern life and events, maintain a high academic standard, require excellence at all times from students, but still enjoy an engaged rapport with them. That should be easy. All of this we find in our honoree for this year. Emily Beaver has taught for 4 years at Aberdeen Middle School, and in that time has established herself as a valued member of the team. Her colleagues treasure her as a friend, and her students are enthralled with her lesson. A science teacher on her team shared that after Miss Beaver's lesson on the American Revolution, her students continued to talk about it in science and how they would act if they lived through that time. Unfortunately, Emily was not able to join us today. She's attending a wedding, so we will award her at another time. Thank you. Okay. I'm not doing too well today. The next award is for the Patriots of the American Revolution High School Essay Contest. The chapter winner for the Patriots of the American Revolution High School Essay Contest is Miss Camille Miller. She wrote her essay about Crispus Attucks, the first one to fall at the Boston Massacre and considered by many to be the first American casualty of the American Revolution. Camille is a junior at Bel Air High School. She was unable to join us today as she is on a school music trip. Busy people. I do want to share with you that she is also the Maryland State winner. So we will be able to celebrate her achievement at our state conference in May. Thank you. The DAR also has what is called the American History Essay Contest, and our chapter winner for the DAR American History Essay Contest is Alice Shee. I would like to invite her to join us at the front and ask that her friends and family stand and be recognized. Alice is an 8th grader at Patterson Mill Middle School. Her teachers speak of her incredible work ethic, intelligence, and her willingness to push herself and take on additional challenges, which she does a lot. On May 14th, 1897, John Philip Sousa played his new march, The Stars and Stripes Forever, for the first time. This song would become the national march of the United States. Students were asked to imagine that it is 1897 and that they are a newspaper reporter for the Philadelphia Times, whose editor has asked them to write an article about the song being performed for the first time that day. Alice has taken us to that day with her writing and has told us of John Philip Sousa's childhood in a musical family, his own musical journey, and patriotic service as a member of the Marine Band. She also told us of the trip and the return to America that inspired the song. I would like to congratulate Alice on her excellent work and on being the Governor William Paca chapter winner of the American History Essay Contest. Mr. Brian Peller, would you join me up here, please? More than 100 years ago, the Flag of the United States of America Committee was established to promote a deep patriotic sense of respect for our flag. In 1909, the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution gave this committee the responsibility to keep the flag flying and to protect it continuously under all conditions, as well as to educate citizens regarding its correct usage. The Governor William Paca chapter is pleased to recognize Freedom Federal Credit Union with the DAR flag certificate. Mr. Brian Peller is representing Freedom today. Are there any other colleagues of Brian's here today?
They all.
Busy people.
April and banking.
Busy people. The DAR flag certificate recognizes individuals or organizations for their proper use, correct display, and patriotic presentation of the flag of the United States of America. We thank this local business for sharing their patriotic pride and proper display of the flag of the United States of America. I'd also like to add a note that they are a tremendous partner during Constitution Week, so they make sure the flag flies all year round. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Next, Susan Gray will present Youth Citizenship Awards and the DAR Outstanding Cadet Silver Medals.
Good morning, everybody. The Governor William Paca chapter presents the DAR Youth Citizenship Award, medal to 8th grade students who, in the opinion of the school faculty, exemplifies the qualities of honor, service, courage, leadership, and patriotism. Recipients are nominated by their school administration. This year, we are proud to recognize 3 model young citizens. At this time, would Andrew Tuff and Sophia Whaley please join me up front? And at this time, with their family and friends, please stand to be recognized. Patrick Moser was supposed to join us today, but unfortunately he couldn't. So let me read to you what Bel Air Middle School said about Patrick. Bel Air Middle School chose Patrick Mosner to receive the Youth Citizenship Award, writing that his actions demonstrate all attributes of activities to include Dungeons and Dragons Club, Scout Troop 238, karate, and I couldn't believe when I was reading this, but I think it's fascinating, Old English fencing. Patrick is engaging, kind, interested in a variety of topics, and always is helpful to others. His future plans include playing flute in the Bel Air High School marching band and becoming a writer. We are excited to see what the future brings for Patrick. Next we have, from Southampton Middle School, Andrew Tuff. Andrew is to receive the Youth Citizenship Award, writing that he is an active member of the National Junior Honor Society, as well as the leader for the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and Sports for Life clubs. He's an advocate for the environment and works to support his peers. He serves as a homeroom representative and contributed to the Hoops for Home fundraiser and was recognized with a Character Award of Acceptance. Outside of school, Andrew pursues his interest in soccer, trumpet lessons, and cooking classes. Next we have, from Patterson Mill Middle School, Sophia Whaley. She was nominated for the Youth Citizenship Awardee, writing that she, too, exemplifies the attributes of this award. In the classroom, she is always willing to help other students. Outside of the classroom, Sophia has joined the Boy Scouts of America as a Cub Scout and advanced through the ranks and continues to be an active member and a leader in the Boy Scouts. In addition to her scouting adventure, Sophia is an active martial artist. She has earned her 2nd degree of black belt in Taekwondo, where she is a junior instructor. One other extracurricular activities that she does is that she is in multiple clubs after school, and she handles the stage crew for her middle school's theater productions. And she also plays a cello as a member of the all-county orchestra. May we congratulate our youth citizenship. Next, we have the DAR Outstanding Cadet for Silver Medal. Recognizes cadets that have distinguished themselves through constant outstanding leadership, honor, service, courage, and patriotism. Recipients are recommended by their unit commanders. The first recipient is Cadet Austin Fodrell of the EV Composite Squadron Civil Air Patrol. Austin, please join us up front. And as he comes forward with his friends and family, please stand to be recognized. From 2019 to now, Cadet Fodrell has served faithfully alongside his fellow cadets and has worked diligently in the background to help the commander and deputy commanders with the Hartford Composites program since moving from New Mexico in 2022. He has served as cadre at wing events. He has backfilled cadet roles that were left unfilled and steps up whenever needed. He goes above and beyond to serve other cadets. It is this selflessness that is most deserving of any award. Since his start as a cadet, he has always been faithfully serving his fellow cadets as their leader, teacher, and mentor. He has, and I'm very impressed on this, has a private pilot's license since he turned 16 and completed his instruments reading when he turned 17. He is now 18. Cadet Fodrell has served as the cadet commander since January of 2023. We look forward to seeing Austin continue to progress with the program and love to see him to continue and strive for success. Cadet Fodrell brings great honor upon himself and his squadron, upholding the Civil Air Patrol cadet core values and adhering to the cadet oath, serving faithfully, participating in cadet activities, and always cheerfully obeying the orders of his officers. He is dedicated to future service of his community and country, a modern-day young patriot who aspires to serve our great country. Congratulations, Austin. Our second DAR Outstanding Cadet Silver Medal goes to Young Marine Gunnery Sergeant Josephine Jada Burgell. Unfortunately, she could not be with us today, but I'd like to read to you what her commander said. Jada has been a part of the Young Marine program since March of 2016. In that time, she has advanced in both rank, leadership, and has excelled as a mentor for other young Marines in this program. She is an active volunteer for the Marine Corps League and the Jarrettsville Auxiliary. Jada aspires to either the Navy or the Army to serve her country as an RN. She truly embraces the role of a strong leader and with authentic compassion, and we'd like to congratulate her, and we'll present her with her award at another time. Thank you very much.
Next, Emily Andrews will present her awards.
Of which we have many today. The DAR Excellence in Media Award provides a way to recognize work in the film, radio, and television industries that promotes education, historic preservation, and patriotism. Individuals who receive this award are recognized for their media work, not for work of or activism outside of the industry, and they give voice to local groups. There are two types of award, local and national. The Governor William Paca chapter would like to make a special presentation of this award to Matt Button. Mr. Button, please come forward to receive this award. And also, would any of Mr. Button's invited guests and those associated with the Aegis newspaper or county government please stand and be recognized. Anyone who reads the Aegis newspaper or follows the activities of the Harford County government has seen Matt Button's contributions to the history and life of our community. For Matt, art was always an important part of his life. Photography sparked a particular interest for this lifelong Harford County resident. The camera would change from hobby to career after a photojournalism class taken while earning a photography degree at Harford Community College. During this class, Mr. Button took an internship with the local newspaper, the Aegis. After completing the internship, he was contracted by the Aegis as a freelance photographer. Honing his skills for a little over a year, he was offered the position as staff photographer. This was the start of the 26-year career documenting Harford County. Over that time, Mr. Button came to be known as a member of the local media who could be trusted, earning respect from the community, especially fire and police personnel. During his career with the newspaper, Mr. Button earned many awards for his photography, often taking first class in an annual editorial contest through the Maryland, Delaware, and Washington, D.C. Press Association. Mr. Button resides in Jarrettsville and has been married for 20 years to Kathleen Button. They have two teenage children, Madeline and Jake, and Lulu the dog. In June 2023, he made a career change, leaving the Aegis newspaper to take a position as Public Information Officer for the Harford County government. The Governor William Paca chapter would like to thank and to recognize Mac Button for his work in documenting the events of our daily lives in Harford County and for keeping us well informed. Historic preservation is one of the three cornerstones of DAR's mission. This year, the Governor William Paca chapter has secured approval to present the DAR Historic Preservation Recognition Award to two individuals. Our first awardee is the Harford 250 Project, chaired by Carol Dybel and Jackie Seneschal. Mrs. Dybel and Mrs. Seneschal, would you please come forward? And as they do, please, with those family members and friends also, please stand and be recognized. Now also, with those present who are affiliated with the Historical Society of Harford County or the Harford 250 Project, please stand and be recognized. In March of 1774, Harford County of Maryland was formed. Prior to that date, it had been part of Baltimore County, but the distance to the county seat was felt to be too far for Middle and Upper Chesapeake Bay residents to travel for jury duty and other business. A petition was submitted and accepted in Annapolis, the state capital, for the creation of the new county named after the illegitimate son of Lord Baltimore, Henry Harford. In the subsequent 250 years, our county has developed into a beautiful region with flourishing little towns, many farms, a thriving arts community, a world-renowned Army post for research and development, successful healthcare services, busy sports facilities, and enjoyable outdoor leisure activities. Beginning in March 2023 and running through March 2024, Hartford's sesquicentennial was observed through the guidance of the Hartford 250 Project Committee, made up of 29 members working closely with the Historical Society of Hartford County and sponsored by close to 80 businesses, organizations, and private individuals. The project's mission and vision statements are, quote, "The Hartford 250 Project will contribute to a better understanding of who we are, where we came from, and where we are headed. By engaging county residents, we will help them continue to shape our county, unite our residents, and recognize the common bonds that we share. The Hartford 250 Project will inspire county residents by educating, engaging, and uniting them in a celebration in the county's past, and in seeking a positive pathway to their future," end quote. A glance at the listing of events for Hartford 250 shows the project truly carried out that mission with a myriad of activities which involve all segments of Hartford County's population. Wine and cheese event, a night at the Ironbirds ballpark, farm visits, creation of a mosaic and a book using contributions from county residents, a television production featuring local citizens, and even a corn maze. No doubt many of you have taken part in some of these excellent activities, which have showcased all that our county has to offer. Governor William Paca Chapter is honored to be able to recognize this marvelous organization for their many accomplishments in the area of historic preservation, and bravo to the project committee for all of their successes and hard work.
I would be remiss if I did not recognize the work particularly of our chairman, the chairman of our subcommittees, Arden Holdridge, who chaired Arden McClune, I apologize, who chaired our finance committee, Alyssa Campagna, who chaired the marketing committee, Chris Potts, sorry, my brain went like that, who chaired the sports event, and Jacob Benson and Laura Bianca Pruitt, who chaired our final event, the wrap-up event at the Armory, as well as the Mosaic. If you haven't been to see it yet, the Mosaic is on display at the Bynum Park. It was dedicated this week. If you had the Aegis, we had a nice spread on that. And I want to invite all of you to join us on Thursday evening at the Star Center in Havre de Grace, where the jazz ambassadors from the U.S. Army bands will be to help us celebrate the Hartford 250 Encore.
Our second awardee is Mr. Jacob Benson. Mr. Benson, would you please come forward? And as he does, will his family and friends please stand and be recognized? Also, those affiliated with the Historical Society of Hartford County and Hartford County government. Historic preservation is in Mr. Benson's DNA. Although employed by Hartford County government as a historic preservation planner, he has involved himself in a number of volunteer Hartford County historic preservation activities throughout his career. He is well known among local historians and historic preservationists. As a volunteer, he has supported the activities of the Hartford County Historic Preservation Commission and our local Stepping Stone Museum, among others. His efforts have included data collection and production, presentations to audiences in person and on the local cable TV network, building restoration, identifying of historic landmarks, supporting and assisting with digitization projects, and preserving documents. His activities at the Historical Society of Hartford County also as a volunteer in the last 3 years, has been to assist with the building restoration, the establishment of the building museum, and the preservation of Hayes House, a historic house in Bel Air managed by the Historical Society. Currently, he is also chairman of the Collections Management Task Force for the Historical Society. His skills have been used in another society project, the relocation and saving from demolition of the historic Frank Furness designed B&O train station in Aberdeen, Maryland. Jacob's research skills and his expertise as a photographer enabled the Historical Society to document the relocation of the station. In addition, Jacob was key in documenting the relocation of the colonial-era Jesting Gorsuch House and Street, another project that saved an important historic building from demolition. The house currently serves as part of the Harford County Agricultural Center. He has provided historic preservation assistance outside Harford County, collecting archival data and doing research at Fort McHenry and Hampton National Historic Site. His efforts at Eastern Penitentiary, a former American prison in Philadelphia, have resulted in better preservation of historic artifacts. The prison is now a National Historic Landmark and a museum. The Governor William Paca chapter is truly honored to recognize the outstanding efforts of Mr. Benson to honor, preserve, and protect our county's past. According to the requirements of the DAR Historic Preservation Medal, the purpose is to honor an individual whose volunteer service, promotion, and dedication to historic preservation has made a distinguished contribution to the national, regional, and state level for many years. It is the highest honor which the DAR can bestow in historic preservation and is awarded to very few individuals in the United States in a given year. The Governor William Paca chapter has nominated C. John Sullivan for this award. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Sullivan to please come forward, and would any family members and friends please stand and be recognized. This chairman would like to thank Sandy Wallace, our chapter vice regent, for her research and many contributions to this award. Historic preservation has been a lifelong passion for Mr. Sullivan. He has summed up his interest in preservation of traditions and places in his native Maryland and Harford County with this quote, "I've saved pieces of Harford County over the years," end quote. He and his wife preserved and restored their first home, Bon Air, which was an historic house from the post-revolutionary period built by a French emigre. However, his greatest achievement has been preserving a way of life in the upper Chesapeake Bay. A Falston native who lives just outside of Bel Air, C. John Sullivan has been collecting waterfowl art and artifacts since he had his first decoy at age 13. He quickly developed a passion for waterfowl art. In the ensuing years, he has amassed an impressive personal collection of decoys, paintings, cartridge boxes, photographs, and other artifacts from the world of waterfowling, and is viewed as the expert on the upper Chesapeake. He has written 12 books on waterfowling history, mostly focused on the Chesapeake Bay region, and speaks fluently on the subject at historical societies and conservation organizations such as Ducks Unlimited. Mr. Sullivan took over leadership of the Havre de Grace Decoy Museum in July 2011 and now serves as the museum consultant. He has twice been named Admiral of the Chesapeake by Maryland governors and selected to be a Chesapeake Bay ambassador by Governor Martin O'Malley in recognition of his contributions in chronicling the history, art, and traditions of waterfowling. He displays his considerable collection of waterfowling museums and events and has expanded interest in the sport and history of waterfowling by presenting to a broad range of audiences outside the waterfowling community. He has been interviewed by public TV, Ducks Unlimited, and other organizations, and some of these interviews have been disseminated by DVD. On January 11th, 2022, Mr. Sullivan was presented a proclamation from the Harford County Council as a Harford Living Treasure. Because of his lifelong involvement with preservation in our county's historic buildings and efforts to educate the world about a way of life on the Chesapeake, the Governor William Paca is honored to present Mr. C. Jonathan Sullivan, Jr. with the prestigious Historic Preservation Medal.
You all deserve a medal for waiting through this program today. Thank you. And I've saved bits and pieces of Harford County and bits and pieces for the state in my lifetime. But I want to tell all the young people in this room and all the people, like the people that graduated from high school with me, like Sandy Smithson and Bill Smithson, and those that graduated from high school before I did, like former delegate William H. Cox and my dear sister, Susan. Relationships are the most important things that any of us can save. Relationships that go back through a lifetime. We can save stuff, we can save bits and pieces of things, but the fact that Bill Cox and I were working together in the courthouse along with my sister when I was 15 years old, can anyone imagine that? Maybe I was almost 16, but I know I didn't have a driver's license yet. But those relationships, and I say that to you young people especially, save those relationships because they're the bits and pieces of our life that we will cherish forever. Thank you all.
Thank you, Emily. Could we have another round of applause for all of our awardees? Congratulations to all of you. It has been a privilege for the Governor William Paca chapter to shine a light on your achievements. After the ceremony, I would ask that you, the honorees, come forward for a group photograph. The photos taken today will be available probably next week, and I will send a link to the gallery. And a recording of this program will be available on Harford TV later this summer, so watch their website for their schedule. And on behalf of the Governor William Paca chapter, we thank you for coming and celebrating with us. And Lisa Murder will now read the benediction.
I invite you to pray in your tradition as I pray in mine. Our Heavenly Father, who has taught that you will require much from those to whom much is given, grant that we whom you have called to so goodly a heritage may extend more abundantly to others what we so richly enjoy, and in our stewardship we may know the glory of your love. We praise you as we take our departure. Amen.
Before we depart, can I have all awardees to the front for a photograph, followed by a chapter photograph? And thank you, everyone.